I grew up in the shadow of Vietnam, and in that war we had a number of missing in action and prisoners of war. I'd been to Washington, D.C., but I'd never been to the Vietnam Memorial. If you've ever been there, it's a very powerful memorial. About 5 months later, my birthday came up, and my wife asked me, "Hey, what would you like for your birthday?" I think I'd like a MIA POW bracelet from Vietnam. But I like to link everything to history. We found the last service member to go missing in action before I was born, and that was Captain Fred H. McMurray Jr. So we got the bracelet, and I've been wearing it since 1999, and he's kind of my inspiration. And between November of 1967 and March of 1968, he had already earned the Distinguished Flying Cross, a Bronze Star for Valor, a Silver Star, 4 Air Medals, and 2 Purple Hearts. And then his helicopter took effective fire and caught on fire, and he had to make a hard landing behind the enemy lines. We have memorials around the division headquarters for all the campaign participation that the 1st Cavalry Division has participated in over the last 100 years. But what we were missing was a MIA POW memorial. And we have a vehicle park, and there was an OH-13. It had been weathered, been outside for a while, and I thought to myself, it's the same helicopter that Fred would have been flying. I'm going to go to the museum and ask him if we could refurbish it and move it to the 1st Cavalry Division headquarters and co-locate it with the memorial the Veterans Association was raising money for. And they were like, absolutely, you can do that. We had it refurbished. We had Fred's tail number painted on it. And the plan was to dedicate the memorial and the helicopter simultaneous with my change of command. And I asked myself, I wonder where Nancy McMurray is now, Fred's wife, his high school sweetheart. They'd only been married about 9 months. I wonder if I could track her down. Myself and my executive officer, we went online and we started to do some research, and we found a picture of her from 1972, where she's giving one of these bracelets to an Air Force general because she was a very active member in the spouses that were bringing attention to the Pentagon and to Congress about bringing our MIAs and POWs home. So I called her on April 7th, 2023, 55 years to the day that the Army called her to tell her that her husband was missing in action. She said, "This is a gift from God. I thought when I passed that he'd be forgotten." And I told her he's not forgotten, he never will be forgotten, and asked her would she be willing to come to the division and unveil his helicopter when we unveiled the POW MIA Memorial. And she absolutely was willing. And she and her daughter came. They were the guests of honor at my change of command, and they unveiled Fred's helicopter outside the division headquarters. And then I think about our Gold Star families like Nancy McMurray Dwyer and the sacrifices that they make when their loved ones are killed in action. So for me, this bracelet has a lot of meaning, a lot of inspiration. I think about it, obviously every day I think about Fred. He really truly was an inspiration as Nancy was for our military spouses.